Hey guys, it's me, MassMajora64. I am making a different video today. Today, I'm going to be showing you how I make my Sentai models. It's very easy if you don't know how to, use Blender or Unity. It's a very good jumping in point. Ignore the ignore the sniffles and the stuffy nose, allergies type shit going on. So, here's what you do. It's very simple and very easy. First, you're going to need your avatar base. For me, that would be the Mama Hinata. Did I spell that right? Oh no. There we go. And it's, again, very easy to start and very easy to do. So there's that. Take your base model. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to go to DeviantArt, and you're going to search up a user, Kaiserreiser. Once you do that, you're going to go to his Sentai Legend War models and select one of them. Today, I'm going to be making Ryusol Blue, or Dino Fury Blue, whichever your cup of tea is. So you do that, and then click the little download button here, and it'll immediately download. After that, go to your files, right-click, and hit Extract All. And it'll make an open unextracted folder. Go to Blender. Select all that and delete it. At this point, you're going to need a very important thing for Blender. What I have are two important things. You're going to need a Blender, or no, you're going to need an MMD to Blender importer add-on, and you're going to need a Blender, or a XPS to Blender importer add-on. You could just do a simple Google search and find them. When you get those, you're going to hit that. You're going to hit Files, Preferences, and then Install from Disk. You're going to search up the file that you have, like, it was... Oh, wait, wrong one. That. Then you need to import add-on, or importer, you just click that. Simple as that for the MMD, same with the XPS. Very easy, very, very effective. At that point, you go to import, click XPS, and then click the top one. And then, depending on how many files you have, you can either do that, search it, get it from there directly, or find your Ryu Soldier asset. Open that again, and you'll see this. After that, click on the color you want, blue. And this is the important part. Ignore these two. You just want the one that just says XPS.XPS. Click that one, import it. And then, you have it in your Blender project. This is where things get a little more on the tricky side, but please bear with me. Click on the skeleton and hide it. Highlight all of those, all the hands. Delete them. Wrong one. Delete all of the hands. And then, just to be sure, there you go, yep. Hide that part as well. You just want this at the moment. To hide, I should point out, to delete stuff, highlight, it was what? Highlight, right, highlight and click X, and then delete. To hide stuff, just left click, and then hit H. So then go to this one. Zoom in a bit, make sure you have it highlighted. Once you make sure it has a yellow highlight, click on model. It'll bring you to a separate tab. And then just move your camera up to the changer or morpher. If it'll help, do that. Make sure you see colors. Then, this is a very important part as well. You could do this one of two ways. I prefer doing it this way because it's a lot easier, but I know there's another way you can do it, which I'll explain in a bit. So, once you got that, start just press L on the mesh for the wrist piece, and just highlight, and then hit highlight by clicking L, and then hide with H. And just keep doing that until the rest of it is gone. Not deleted, just hidden. Wrong one. This part gets a little tricky. You might need to hit this to see the inside so you can do it better. Like that. There you go. Then hide. Simple as that. Once you have that done, so the morpher is there and you don't see the wrist piece, left click, highlight the morpher. Hit P. Select selection. There you go. Hit Alt and then H. Now, that's a separate mesh. And then, once again, hit Alt H. Now, left click the belt. Hold Shift and click L. No, wrong one. Ignore that statement. Sorry. Hold Shift, left click with, hold Shift and left click the belt, body, and those arm parts. Hit Control, and then J. It'll join the mesh into one. So then, all you have to do is just, it's all one. That leaves the sword, the morpher, and the helmet separate meshes. Now, export into FBX. What I easily do is downloads. I select downloads and save it to there. And I'll name it Ryu Soul Blue.fbx. Export. Then, open in Blender. Make sure you have your Creator Companion installed, shader like Pyomi that I prefer using, everything you need in the Creator Companion, the SDK, all that stuff. Then, what you're going to do is click and drag the assets into the asset folder, the unextracted file. And then, Ryu Soldier. There you go. And then, take that, put it in there. Then bring it into the scene. Click that, bring it to the scene. And then this is where it gets a teeny tiny bit more simple, but also complicated. Next up, just press down or not press down, just press left, or no, not left, press right on the mouse controller, on the mouse, keyboard. Oh, I'm so tired. And press down so you can open all of these armatures, all of the bones. So you have the foot, the arms, everything open like that. And then, click on the Ryu Soul Blue asset, prefab, unpack completely. Mama Hinata, click and drag up to Untitled, and then release. So then it moves to the bottom. And then, from there, do the exact same thing. Hit right and down when you need to, and up when you need to move. There you go. And then, since you don't need these, delete those, or you don't need those at all. And now, temporarily, click on the Mama Hinata, hide it. Now, we're going to start texturing the asset. You take the texture, put it there. Poyomi, Toon. You could use a bunch of other shaders, it's your call. I prefer using Poyomi, because Poyomi is pretty goated. Then, click it there. Oh, wrong one. And then, put it there. Take the sword texture, put it on the sword. Poyomi. And then, this is where you could go one of two ways. Since these are lower poly models, I like doing this. You don't have to. What I do, I like having my texture parts be pixel sharp instead of, blurry like they are. Did not mean to zoom into that part. So what I do is I click that, hold shift, and then click, wrong one, click that too. Go over to filter mode, by linear, click that and set point no filter, and then apply. And then you got pixel sharp textures. This is very useful for lower poly models like PS1, N64, all that stuff. There is a PS1 asset of the Mama Hinata that I like using it with. It's very helpful. So here's what we got. We're at this point. Then, unhide the Mama Hinata. Do that. For this, you're going to hit 0.68. The middle one. The left and right ones will be 0.8 and 0.8. This top right corner under position, hit 0.023. There you go. And there we go. Yep. Then, press and hold Control, and click on both upper arms. It should be left and right shoulder 2. Shoulder 1 is the actual shoulders. Now, middle scale is 0.8. The left scale is 1.1. Sorry about that. Right scale is 1.3. Then click elbow. Do the same. Control, click. 1, 1, and 1.1. There you go. Now, this one doesn't really have an exact position, so just, I guess you can, wrong side. I guess you could just wing it. There you go. Just, best thing to do is do that, zoom all the way in, and then just kind of move it around until it looks good. Like that, and then a little more back. Actually, I should also, to get a better view of the position, it's best you hide the morpher for the moment. We're going to come back to the morpher in a little bit. There you go, like that. And then you do the same with the left arm. Or right arm, I should say. The other arm. Move it a little bit back, or a little forward, I should say. And then move it a tiny bit down, like there. Perfect. Now, we're going to have to do something with the morpher. There are two ways you can do this. One, you can leave the morpher on the arm. Leave the morpher on the arm as it is, but it looks squished for me. So what I do is delete that. Completely delete it. And then put in another morpher. By that I mean another body part like that. You don't really need to do that. And then just delete the rest of the body. Leave the morpher. Click the texture, and there you go, or the material, or texture, and then put it there. And then we'll leave it that size, and we'll come back to that in a moment. Now, is the attaching the bone parts. Take the head, or the neck, and the head, put it on neck, put it on head. Increase the head size, each of them, to 100. I should note, this is how I like doing it, because I'm just stupid. You can do it other ways. You can fit the helmet around the actual head, but I don't like doing that. So there you go. Move it up a bit. If you're doing it this way, move it up a bit so it's positioned so there's a little gap of space where the base of the neck and the head are. So when you hide the head and you rotate the head back, there's not a gap looking into the whole neck hole. There you go, and just leave the head hidden for now. Then collapse that. Collapse the neck, and then move the shoulder, right shoulder to right shoulder. Left shoulder to left shoulder. Left upper arm to left upper arm. Left elbow to left elbow, or left lower arm. And you just keep doing this. Once you get to this point, you'd look at that and see that it's not properly positioned. It's a little backwards. It's a little back. So just rotate that a tiny bit forward, so it's a little more properly positioned, like that. And do the same with this arm. What? Where? What the fuck? Why the fuck are you over there? That was completely unscripted, by the way. I don't know what the fuck that was happening there. There we go. Yeah, there you go. Problem solved. Now that you have the arms attached, we're going to take care of the morpher. Move the morpher down and then to there. You can either do what I like doing, where the morpher is just big as shit, or you can, if you want it to be a more normal size, you decrease it to 0.8. All three. 0.8 and 0.8. It'll look about that big, and you just move it back to the morpher. But, since I like having it be big as shit, I like having it be all 0.8, all 1-to-1. There you go. And then you just place it on the wrist like so. Then you're going to take the morpher, put it on left lower arm. There you go. There you go. Problem solved. And then we're going to continue with the bones. Upper shoulder, wait, upper spine goes on chest. Lower spine goes on spine. Collapse those. Take leg right thigh, put it on upper right leg. Left, same goes with the left on the left. Now, this is another important one. Another detail you're going to need to do. Zoom out a bit. Control, left click. Click this one. The square with the scale tool. Click the green box and drag it just a little bit so it's just barely above the toes. And then right leg to right knee, or right knee to right lower leg, whatever. And then do the same with the left leg. So then it goes like that. And then hips on hip. And then armature on armature. Collapse all that. And now, there. Now, you're going to have to go back to the morpher. Wrong hand. Click on it. Control. And then click the rest of the parts. You're going to have to click bounds. So the bounding box, and then hit 0.03 for all three tabs here. The top bar, you can completely ignore. You don't need to fix that. Make sure the bottom bar extent is 0.03. Because this is the very important one. Otherwise, your suit will just keep disappearing when people get too close. There you go. You have the body attached. I will have to make the texture later, but once you get to this point, you're going to have to take a texture of the Mama Hinata's hands that is half blue, that half of the hands are blue, half of the hand is gray. I'll show you what the texture looks like right here. I'll put that in editing. It's very easy to do. There you go. Now, delete, click on both under spats and under tops. You can either delete, like I like doing, because I don't need them, or you can hit hide the mesh, hide the model, and then click untag and editor only. You could do that if you want to use them at a later point. I don't use them at a later point, so I just delete them. Then, click on a part like the hand. And then, blend shapes. You're going to scale most of it to 100. You're going to scale shoulders, shoulders, upper arm, elbow, lower arm, neck, chest 2, spine, upper leg, knee, lower leg 2, foot, and toe. All of those. So now your model looks like this. Once you have that done, it's basically done. If you want to upload it as it is, once you change the hand so the left hand is gray and the blue hand is blue, you can easily just upload it from here. There's another thing I like doing where I add a weapon and a helmet toggle. I will be showing those off in a future video. Thank you for your time. I am finished with my model. For the most part, I will be adding more details, which, for note, some of the details are as seen under Pyomi. Things like going to shading, adding LTCGI, which is just simply click, adding a reflection coat, which I had to go in detail and texture it a bit more, but I'll get to that around to that once I get to the texture. You would simply just click and then, scale, so then the texture looks good once I have it. And then there's that. End of it. You're done. Very simple. Thank you for tuning into this video. Next video will be me making a Kamen Rider avatar. It's very similar to this, just a little more steps. Thank you and have a good day.